Hi everyone, hope you're doing amazing today. We're doing really well, thank you. My name is Carolina Fonseca Jimenez. I focus on doing children's books that promote love, unity, and peace. And as you know, we also interpret dreams. The reason that we do that is because when we listen to our dreams, we connect with our subconscious. And like most of you know by now, when we share them, we connect with one another on a more profound level. So guys, in this video, I'm going to answer a lot of your questions and interpret some of your dreams that you've had. You've sent them in under one of the videos I did a few months ago, and that was having dreams with a partner that isn't yours. Okay, a lot of you are having dreams about either your exes, someone is cheating on you, your wife, etc. So we are going to get started on that. But before I do that, I just want to remind you that we are starting our online dream circles. Okay, since we can't meet in person, we're going to do them online. So if you're interested in learning more about your dreams, your particular dream language, and you want to do it with a group of really great people, then just sign up by sending me your email. I will go ahead and add you to our list. Just let me know if you want to do the English class or if you want to do the Spanish one. Okay, and then after that, once our list is compiled, then I will send you an invite. Okay, but all right, let's go ahead and get started. I've got my list of dreams right here. So, okay, our first dreamer says that he's having a dream about his wife, okay? And in their waking life, excuse me, they have a really great relationship. They're very loving. They've got just a wonderful family right now. But in the dream state, he's saying that he is telling his wife that he is no longer in love with her and that he wants to leave her. So in the dream, she's obviously distraught. She's really, really sad, and he is so sad. Like, he's really sad too. And he says that in the dream it starts raining, and that in the dream he just feels this connection. He feels the connection of the rain and her sadness, and he says that in the dream he felt that that was the same thing. He said that she was so sad that in his dream it started to rain to just remind him of how sad she was because he told her he was leaving her. Now, this dreamer assures us that he is not leaving her. He doesn't want to leave her. And actually, he has dreams, like premonition dreams. So he's actually really fearful because he thinks that now this is actually going to happen. So let me go ahead and just let you know, you don't need to worry about this, okay? You really, really don't. And let me kind of explain why. If in the dream you told her that you were leaving her and all of that, and if you really believe that that is what's going to happen, remember, whatever we give energy to is what's going to happen. So if you really believe that, and if you keep giving your energy to this, then you're going to create it yourself. But remember, you are a very powerful being, and because you know this interpretation for yourself, you've literally told it to me. You've told me that that is your fear, and that's what you're gathering from this dream. The first thing I would say is that when you looked at the dream, you probably looked at it out of fearful energy, okay? And then the second thing I'll say is that you have the power at the end of the day. Remember, dreams are just an alert. They're letting us know, hey, let's be prepared for this. Hey, let's pay more attention to this, okay? So you've got the power to change that around. You've got the power to look at this completely differently and say, okay, I saw the sadness that I can cause my wife. I saw what that would do to both of us. And that is why I'm not going to give energy to this. Instead, I'm going to focus on the loving energy that I can offer her because I know I'm so emotionally connected to her. The reason I know that you're so emotionally connected to her is because in the dream, you see how sad she is, and you tell me that when it starts to rain, you literally connect that with her feelings. You felt so profoundly distraught and so profoundly sad that it rained in your dream. So that lets me know that your connection to her is completely deep. And it's a beautiful connection. You love her unconditionally, right? But now you shouldn't allow the fear to kind of put blinders on you. Remember, this dream is just letting us know right now that your wife may be feeling this way, right? There may be something to this in your waking life. Remember that your subconscious is gathering a bunch of information, and it's noticing things that maybe our more conscious awareness doesn't always notice, right? It's kind of gathering more information that we can take in at all times. So this simply can just be an alert letting us know what is going on with your wife. Let's reflect it outward. How is it that you're feeling when you're with her? Is she going through a deep sadness? Is there something you feel you may be causing her to feel sad about, right? That's the deeper question here because you have all the control with this. So let's focus on that. Let's reflect it outward. If you can pinpoint to me where you're feeling that sadness, where you're feeling that you might have contributed some sadness, if you can pinpoint to that, then that's where the power comes in, because now that we know what it is, now we can have the power to change it. Now we can provide more loving energy to this situation or to whatever it is that we said without meaning, okay? Remember, the dream state is just going to show you something in a more dramatic way, a more vibrant way, so you pay attention to it. And it makes perfect sense actually, because since you are so emotionally connected to her, if you feel even like the slightest sadness for her, if you feel that she's going through a tough time, you are really feeling it because you are so connected to her. So it's actually kind of normal that it would show up in your dream state in such a dramatic way. And also remember this, whenever we have dreams like this about someone else being sad, especially of us causing that sadness, it's just a sign for us to go ahead and get ready to connect ourselves with love, unity, and peace, and be prepared, right? Be prepared to be that loving support for that person, because there may be something that could happen in that family atmosphere, because you do say that you've got premonition dreams anyways. So just make sure that you're in love, unity, and peace, so that way if something does happen, you are prepared to help. You're prepared to be that support that you need to be. Okay, so let go of that fear. Remember, if you feel fear when you're looking at your dream, take a break and then look at it when you're in neutral energy. All right, thank you for sending your dream. Let's go ahead and move on to the second one. Okay, oh goodness, where did it go? Here it is. Okay, so the second dream says, this individual said that he's having a dream where he's having sexual relations with someone, okay, and it's someone that he doesn't know. He doesn't know this person, but he's having sexual relations with her, and he says that the frustrating part to him is that they have a great time, they have a really great connection actually, but then after it, she gets really angry and she just leaves, okay? And then he says that this happens over and over and over in the dream. There was one point in the dream where she called him and she was like, hey, come on over, right? And he came over, they had, a loving relationship or whatever, or they had a sexual relationship, and then she booted him out and like yelled at him. So he's feeling really weird about this dream, and he doesn't understand why he's having it, and he also doesn't know who this person is. So first of all, I want to thank you for sending your dream in to us. I know those dreams aren't the easiest to share, especially whenever there's all that intimacy involved. So I do appreciate you sharing that. This is a safe space, so thank you. Now, when we're talking about a dream like this, I would actually reflect it outward very quickly. And the reason I say this to you is because in the dream, you're saying that it's almost like this vicious circle, right? In the dream, this relationship you have with this person, it's like at first we're connecting. At first it's a physical relationship. We're having a great time. But then later, she's like yelling at me. Why is she yelling at me? Why is this happening? And then you all split up, but then you get back together, and then you split up, and then you get back together. So let's reflect it outward. Is that how you're feeling in your waking life? The answer is probably yes, because that's why it showed up in such a dramatic way in your dream state, okay? So let's reflect it outward. How are we dealing with our relationships at this moment? Are we having more physical relationships with people and maybe not finding that profound connection? Or are we not able to do that at this moment? And the reason I ask that is because in the dream state, you're able to make a really great connection with them physically, okay? With this particular person, you're able to have that romantic physical relationship. But when it comes to having a conversation, you're not able to do it. Instead, you all start arguing, and then you split up, and then you get back together physically, and then you split up. So I would question that. I would simply question if that is how you're living your life, and that is how you're living your relationships, then the dream is letting you know that you're hungry for more. You don't want that anymore. You tell me you're frustrated because you're always arguing, and then you get back into this relationship and then you argue again. So it's simply letting you know that your higher self is tired of it. It's tired of having to go through this same kind of vicious cycle, right? It wants more. It wants more than that physical connection. It wants to be able to have a conversation. It wants to be able to have that emotional connection. It wants more than just the physical, okay? So it's actually a really beautiful dream, and it's a beautiful wake-up call to say we want more in life than this. We want to have a better relationship. We want to be better. So let's take a little bit of responsibility for this, right? Let's do that. Let's take some responsibility. If indeed we are having relationships like this where we have a great physical connection, but there's nothing else following that, let's see what we can do individually to change that. Can we start off by having more conversations first before we get physically connected? Can we get to know each other a little bit more profoundly? Can we do different things before we just have a physical connection? Because that is what your higher self is hungry for, okay? So thank you for sending this dream, and it's simply just a simple alert letting you know it's time to do things differently. You're kind of tired of it. You're tired of that vicious cycle, and it is a perfect time to change it. Okay, I send you a big hug. Thank you for sending it in. Let's go ahead and move on to our next streamer. We have quite a few today. Alrighty. Our next streamer says that she has a dream that she's a soldier. Okay, she's like in the army, in the military, something like this. But she says that she feels that this is a dream from a long time ago. She says that it's her, but it's not her now. And in the dream, she is a soldier, and then her husband is also like in the army and the military. He's also a soldier. And in the dream, they have 3 kids. And also, she says that in the dream, the husband gets like a bloody nose. And there's a nurse in the dream that tells him, well, you know what, when you get a bloody nose, that means you're going to have 3 kids. And she thought that was kind of interesting because in her waking life, she does have 3 kids, except for they're all girls. So she's like, I don't understand the connection. She says that she feels that it is her, but not of this time. So she's really confused. She's like, why would I have a dream that is not even of this time? What is the point of that? So, okay, guys, remember the whole dream world. It is huge. It is absolutely huge because you've got things from the past, right? If you believe in past lives, you're opening yourself to receiving that information, okay? So this particular individual does believe in past lives, and so therefore she is giving energy to that, and she feels connected with that. So if that is the connection that you feel, if you feel this is from a different life, from a different time, it's because it is, okay? Simply accept it and you can move on. But I will say, before we fully move on from this one, is there's something in this relationship that you can learn and apply to now. And I find that really interesting because there is a connection there with the 3 kids. In the dream, you say you actually do have 3 boys, and then in the waking life, you have 3 kids, but they're 3 girls, okay? And you are married in both worlds, right? In the dream world with a soldier, in this world not a soldier at all, and you're not a soldier either, but in this dream you are. Okay, so there is some kind of reflection there. So what I would do for this dream is I would look at it and say, okay, how was I living my life with my husband? Okay, how was that relationship, and how was my relationship with my kids? Because there's something in that life that I can learn and apply to now, to present time. Okay, because remember, guys, because the dream world is so massive, it's so huge, and you literally will see the things that you open your mind to. Okay, the messages are there for you, but only if you want to take them. So if you can learn from this situation that you feel was from lives and lives and lives and lives ago, then that's fine. Accept it as that. It is a past dream, but go ahead and learn from it anyway and apply it to here, because there's obviously something for you to learn. So I'd like to chat a little bit more with you offline about the relationship with the husband and then the relationship with the kids, because that is kind of the key there on how you can apply that to your waking state, okay? All right, so thank you for sending that dream in as well. Let's move on to our next one. Okay. Okay. So in this dream, this particular woman is having dreams about her ex, okay? And she keeps having dreams about him, and she doesn't understand why. She's kind of worried because she's like, I already have a boyfriend, so I shouldn't be dreaming about my ex. Why is this happening? So, okay, let's talk about that a little bit, because remember, guys, whenever you dream about your ex, it doesn't necessarily mean, that sounded weird, it doesn't necessarily mean that there's anything else that you need to do there, okay? But it does mean that there's something we need to learn from that relationship and apply it to now. So, for example, she says that she's constantly having dreams about him, and she doesn't know why, and she's like, I don't know what to do with this, okay? So if we're having dreams about our exes, let's think about this. How was the relationship with our ex, okay? Because they're in the past for a reason, right? Why is that? Why are they in the past? What's the reason for it? What did we learn from it? That is the biggest thing. What is the lesson that we took from that? Because the lesson that we took from it can be applied right now with our current partner, all right? But now, if we didn't learn the lesson in this relationship, then we can actually be repeating some of those same issues, some of those same problems with our current partner. That is why it's so important. Whenever you have a dream about your ex, accept it with loving energy, right? Have neutral eyes when you're looking at it, loving eyes if possible, and just know that there's something we can learn from that relationship and that we can apply now. And the biggest question is like, am I doing some of the same things I was doing back then now? Because remember, guys, the dream world is an opportunity for us to take responsibility and see how we've grown. Are we growing? Where are we going to? Right? Now, I will say this last bit. If you keep dreaming about your ex and it's like something that happens over and over and over again, excuse me, I feel like I have to sneeze. But if there's a feeling of worry associated with it, if there's a feeling of worry with it, then I would question this a little bit more. And the reason for that is because remember, guys, we're all connected in this world. So we're connected with our families, with our loved ones, with people that we've come in contact with our exes, all of that. So remember, even though they're not in our lives at the moment, their energy is still there. And if they're going through a really tough time, because we've been connected with them before, it's possible that we also feel it in dream state, because that's when we're at our most deepest level, okay? So if there is something going on with them and they're having trouble in their current lives, it's very possible that we can have dreams about them. So a lot of the time, if you're having repetitive dreams with your ex and you're feeling this kind of sense of worry, then it would be good to just send a little message and say, hope you're doing well, sending you loving energy, but if you didn't have a great relationship with them, and if you kind of left it on bad terms, you probably shouldn't do that, but you can definitely send them loving energy anyways, even if you're not with them physically, okay? Because a lot of the time it's just letting you know that they're going through a really tough time. And when that is the case, it's just meant for us to be prepared and to be ready to send loving energy or to be a support system whenever necessary, okay? But don't freak out if you're dreaming of your ex, even if you have a partner or you don't. It's not a big deal. It's just an opportunity for you to learn from a relationship that you had back then, okay? And it's just wanting you to not make those same kinds of, not mistakes, but you don't want to make those same kinds of actions that maybe led to you all breaking up or whatever. It's just for us to learn from it, that's all, okay? So thank you for sharing that dream with us today. Let's go ahead and go to the next dreamer. Okay, so this one is really interesting, okay? This is important. So this particular dreamer says, let me fix my thing. This particular dreamer says that he was having a conversation with his friend, okay? This is all in waking state. Having a conversation with his friend, and his friend tells him that she was having a dream about her husband, and that they were having, they were making love and all of this stuff in their dream state. But then she looked at the husband, and it wasn't the husband anymore, it was the friend. So now the friend is feeling like, oh my gosh, she saw me instead of the husband, I don't know what to do, etc., etc., etc. Okay, so first of all, I want to let you know, don't worry about it. This is when if you don't understand your particular dream language, where it can kind of get out of hand, okay? And the reason I say this is because if she's dreaming of her husband, and then all of a sudden it turns into her friend or whatever, that's her dream, right? That's a reflection of how she's feeling, okay? That's not a reflection of us or of the other guy, right? It's not. So you shouldn't take this personally. Remember, the dream state is going to show us things in a dramatic and very vibrant way. It could very well be that she simply just feels very connected to you, and she genuinely loves you, okay? She genuinely loves you. She feels that she can be supportive. She feels that you're a good support system, okay? That very well could be the meaning to it. We won't know the exact meaning. Why? Because she's the one that needs to contact us, okay? She's the one that needs to send in her dream and say, hey, this is how I was feeling, because there's something for her to learn from the situation. Now, I will say for you, if she felt comfortable enough with you to share the dream, just simply be thankful. Be thankful that she shared the dream with you. And if she wants to talk about it further, it'd be great if you were open to it, right? But just know that it doesn't mean that she sees you as like a husband, or that wants to have a more physical relationship. That's not necessarily what it means. And remember, you shouldn't worry about it, because at the end of the day, you have control. Let's say that she says, I want more than just a friendship from you. If you're not okay with that, all you have to do is say no, and that's it. Okay, you've got control over this, so don't worry about it. But guys, that's why it's so important for us to be able to understand our own dream language, because if she is able to see this dream and to feel what it's telling her, then she'd be able to tell her friend, hey, I had this dream and all this, and you know what, I think it's because of X, Y, and Z, right? But if we tell the dream and we don't know how to interpret our own dream, then we're kind of spreading uncertainty, right? And then now our friend is feeling a little bit unsure, and now we're all like insecure and funky, right? And we don't want that. That's why I think it's so important to be able to talk about our dreams, and to just be a little bit open-minded and understand that the dream world is really dramatic sometimes. So don't feel offended. I think it's really great that you shared her dream. I think it's great that you shared her dream with us. Just please let her know that if she wants to understand her dream language more, she can send it in, and she can let us know the feelings associated with that dream, because the feelings are going to be the key to really know what's going on in her dream. But I will say to you that you have control. You have control whether you create that reality or not. Because remember, that kind of thing can't happen unless you also agree to it. All right? So no worries. Do not worry. Loving energy, I send you a big hug, okay? Thank you for sending it in. Let's go to our next dreamer. Okay. Okay, so this is another one of those dreams. You know what? Some of you are sending dreams that are not your dreams. You're sending dreams that people have told you, and now you're going to get all like funky about it. This is a great example. Watch. Okay, this particular person sent in a dream, and he said that this dream is not his dream. It is actually his friend's dream, right? And in this dream, hold on, let me go back to it. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, now I got it together. Sorry. All right, so in this dream, this is actually the girlfriend's dream. It's not the guy's dream, it's the girlfriend's dream. The girlfriend told the boyfriend, she's like, hey, guess what? I had a dream last night and it was really interesting. I was dreaming of this guy and he was in the military and he and I had like a really great relationship. We had a physical connection. We made love, whatever. And she told this to the boyfriend, okay? And now the boyfriend has sent in the dream to us and he's like, can you believe her? She had this dream. What am I supposed to do with that? And then it turns out that they had a really big argument afterwards, and now that's kind of where they're at. Okay, so this is where you know, pointing outward and saying she had this dream, what does it mean? It doesn't work that well. Okay, it doesn't work that well because every single person has their individual dream language. I can't emphasize that enough. They have their own dream language. So look, we don't know if that was a past dream. It could have very well been a past dream. If she felt it was in the past life, it's out of there. It's booted. It's not even like relevant to now, and that she can't connect with that person. But there's obviously something she can learn, right? Now, if she felt that she was happy with this person, if she felt a really wonderful connection, it could even be a reflection of you, of how she sees you, okay? So there's no need for us to get worked up or to get upset or to get angry or to get jealous about anything about this. But my question to you would be, you know, why was anger your first reaction? Why was insecurity your first reaction for this dream? Because look, I think it's actually great. She has enough confidence and she has enough I guess she has enough security to feel that she can share this dream with you, okay? She feels comfortable enough with you to share it. So if she shares it with you and if you get upset and if you get angry, guess what? All you're doing is shutting doors. You're just shutting doors to that conversation, and that doesn't help her and it doesn't help you, okay? That dream could have really, it could really help both of you, okay? But we're not going to know that unless we can talk to her and she can share her feelings with us. Remember, guys, the dreams are here to guide us and they're here to help us, okay? If we look at them with insecure eyes, with fearful eyes, we're not going to learn from them. All we're going to do is we're going to spread that fear, we're going to spread that insecurity. But if instead we move to neutral and if even possible, move to loving energy, and we look at this dream, we can learn so much from it. There can be a lot of information there for her and her current relationship. There could be a lot there that can help you out at this time. But because you acted out of anger and frustration, you didn't learn any of that, right? But it's okay because it's never too late, right? It's never too late to do something different. I do invite you to have another conversation with her if it's still concerning you, and to just listen, you know, openly. Allow her to tell you what she was feeling, because like I said, it could be a representation of you and her current relationship with you, all right? But we won't know it until we talk to her. So I also want to just kind of talk about this, since this is our last dream, that's why I've decided to do the dream circles, actually, because you all sending your dreams into me is fantastic. You send in your feelings and that helps guide the interpretation. But now oftentimes I'll have another question for you, or you want to add more to the dream, and then it's like a week goes by, another week goes by, and sometimes I can include it in the video and sometimes I can't because we're limited with space. So I've decided to do our online dream circles. If you're interested in this, if you'd like to learn more about your particular dream language and you want to really explore that with people that think like you and that are open-minded like you, then please feel free to join. All you've got to do is send me your email. I do have a group in English and I have a group in Spanish. So just send me your email. I will add you to our list. And once the list is finalized, I will send out an invite to all of our members, okay? But anyway, it is just so important for us to be able to understand our dream language, because if not, we're going to just get misinformation and we're not going to grow with love if we're growing out of fear. Okay, remember, we grow what we put attention to. So guys, we are here with love, unity, and peace. We're going to continue to help you interpret your dreams. We're going to guide you in that, but we do invite you to join our online dream circle. Okay, I send you a big hug, guys. We will be in contact. Bye, everybody.